Very good. All right. All right. So we are recording. If you're here live, thank you so much for spending a little bit of your morning with me to work on your business, not just in your business. If you're watching the replay, I also salute and honor you as well. Even if that means you got to put me on 1.5 or 2x speed, that's okay. I get it. What's up, Kevin? The Lone Ranger with his camera on. I appreciate it.
Hey Jake, how are you?
Good, man. Thanks for being here. All right, so without further ado, let me get my screen share rolling, guys, and we are going to jump right in. Now, hang on, it's pulling up. There we go. Quick little fun fact. This is a little bit about me. I'm not here to try and impress you or anything like that, but just to also make sure you don't think I'm some random dude off the street who doesn't know anything. I know at least a little something after doing this for really 10 plus years coaching and leading a coaching company, working with hundreds of brokerages, literally 45,000 plus real estate agents, much like all of you. So I don't say that for any other reason other than to share there's perspective, right? Never in a million years would I claim that I know it all, not even for a second. But what I'm going to share with you today could be, hopefully, for someone or multiples of people on here, the very thing that you needed to hear for your next breakthrough. Now, as mentioned before, some of you might have missed this. I was recently, a couple weeks ago, down in Jacksonville. Um, the leadership for the Northeast Florida Association of Realtors asked me to come down, and I spoke in person to a lot of the broker owners, a lot of the leadership. And it was an incredible event. And I offered to do this for agents as just an extra bonus. So that's why we're all here today. And the message seemed to resonate with your leaders. And I figure, hey, what better way than reteaching the material as it relates to you all in the field as agents, so that way you and your leadership can be aligned and hopefully from today be able to get back together in a one-on-one or group coaching format and discuss this so you can implement it. And we don't need more information these days. What we need is more implementation. I hope you all would agree with that. And so to round out the About Me section, down here, I did play a little fun fact for you, college and professional baseball, hence the locker room. However, do you know where I played? Probably not. I am a proud graduate of UNF. So I attended University of North Florida from 2001 to 2006, played baseball down there for legendary coach Dusty Rhodes, and then went on to play in the minor leagues with the Anaheim Angels. So I spent a good chunk of my young adult life in Jacksonville, bought a home in the St. Augustine World Golf Village area. So definitely a lot of history there. And I think Jacksonville, St. Augustine is kind of my second home away from home. So enough about me. Let's get rolling here. This is all about you guys today. So set the tone. What are we going to accomplish during our time together? I'm going to move relatively quickly, but without leaving any important information out. We're going to examine first why I think success lives outside your comfort zone might be false, or at least could be misleading. And we're going to examine that and offer you a different perspective. So that means we're going to pull the arrow back and talk about some mindset stuff. And then we're going to finish with some very practical, very tactical stuff that you can literally implement today, starting today. Okay. So it's not all theory. This is stuff that has been learned, it's a lived experience, and has helped countless agents and leaders get their next breakthrough to get achieve what they want when they want it. All right. So we're going to define what is success and then reveal to you something like I mentioned that we call the 5 to 25 challenge, to which I ask, are you up for a challenge? Am I in the right room? Do I have people that like to rise above and accept challenges? I sure hope so. We're going to find out. Okay. So, like I mentioned, we're going to pull the arrow back first. So, stay with me here. This could be one of the most important things you hear and hopefully resonates with you today. And it is, in my view, once we get there, the single greatest personal growth and development hack that I can ever give you. Okay, so if you're dealing with some stuff right now, quietly, you're fighting that quiet battle, or there's just challenges and obstacles that you're facing right now in a maybe a tough market or life is coming at you, listen closely because this shall set you free if you apply it. Now, how many of you, just a quick thumbs up or a yes in the chat, have ever heard The quote, the saying that success lives outside your comfort zone. Have you ever heard this? Maybe somebody's told it to you. Yep, Kevin. Maybe you've said it to other people. I know I sure have. All right. So there's no shame here, no judgment, but you're going to see I'm going to build a case for us here as to why when we hear things like that, if we're in a moment of vulnerability or we don't quite understand what's behind that and we just accept it as truth, it can actually be kind of damaging. All right. So some of you might say, well, Jake, you're just playing semantics, in which case I say, maybe I am, but I like to interrogate the reality of things because whatever we let into our minds and it takes root, very rarely do we go back and ever question or interrogate the reality of, is that really true? So that's what we're going to talk about first is success living outside of your comfort zone true, or might there be a different perspective in a better way? So let's check it out. First off, if you went to Google right now and just pop that in there, I don't even know. I'm from Wisconsin, man. I don't know what that number is. That's a big number. I think it's 300 billion. I think 300 billion search results in 0.3 seconds. Now, I'm kind of knocking the industry that I'm in a little bit too, but you hear a lot of speakers, a lot of gurus out there, coaches and otherwise, even Tony Robbins saying things like success lives outside your comfort zone. And I have to question at times, depending on the person, the motivation behind that. A lot of people want you to feel as if you're not whole, you're broken, you need fixed. So go ahead and buy my course for $1,000. Go ahead and head to the back of the room and buy my book for $30. You know, it's like, I believe, doesn't make me right, doesn't make them wrong, that we are whole. I believe we are resourceful. I believe that we are perfectly imperfect, right? Just the way God created us. And so here, when we see things like success lives outside your comfort zone and just automatically cling on to that saying, well, it must be true because after all, it was online or Tony Robbins said it or somebody, whatever. We sometimes, as I mentioned before, don't question that enough and don't ask, well, what does that even mean? And I'd like to do that with you here. Have you guys seen this? Maybe scrolling on social media, on Instagram or something before, right? This is a very popular graphic like, hey, this is you in your little comfort zone over here, and this is where the magic happens. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Success lives outside of your comfort zone. And you're like, dude, if I wake up another day feeling this amount of stress and feeling like I've got to, cold call Fizbos and expires for the rest of my life, no, thank you. But after all, I guess I must be doing the right thing because success is uncomfortable and I'm really uncomfortable right now. I just fundamentally think that there's a better way or a different lens by which we can achieve this. How about this last one? Has anybody ever seen this before? This is one of my favorites. Not really, because number one, nobody is cited. Like, where does this come from? Who's the publisher or the author of this image? It's all over the place. Like, there's no name, so I can't ask them questions. There's no Harvard Business Review or research study that this is accredited to. So anybody with a computer that wants to make you feel, whoops, less than, can create something like this, especially now with artificial intelligence. But let's just look at this together for a minute. So in the middle, in this little thing called the comfort zone, apparently, is me and you, most of us. All right, just the 98 percenters out there. Don't mind me. I'm just over here in the corner, being like everybody else. I'm insecure. I'm just surviving. I'm just getting by. Blah 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 blah. I'm living a life full of regret, settling for less. And again, I just fundamentally disagree with this. You might have a different view, and that's okay. But I refuse to believe, and whatever your belief system is yours, that in my view, God put us on this earth just to settle, just to be average, just to be like everybody else. I just don't fundamentally agree with that. And so this wants you to believe that we're just all grouped together and almost as if the two percenters, right? There's a finite amount of this thing called success that only 2% of the population, or only 2% of people with the right mindset can go achieve. These are the folks that are embracing the unknown. They're living a life full of abundance, acting in spite of fear, going for their dreams, exploring new things. You can read the rest. And yes, two things can be true at once. Maybe I am just picking this apart and playing semantics. But bear with me here. You'll see why I'm building the case around this because if again, not careful, we accept this as truth. And when we accept things like this just through a doom scroll, or we had a bad day, so my mind's kind of feeling a little vulnerable right now, this is how things, aka belief systems, are created. Many times without you even knowing it. You just latch on to this idea or this thing you heard or somebody said once upon a time. And all of a sudden, years later, you're like, how did I even believe this in the first place? Where did I get that thought? So, if nothing else from today, I want to create awareness. Awareness is transformation. Awareness is transformation. If we are aware of the thoughts and things that we allow into our minds, hey, at least that's the first step. Okay. So, when we can hopefully, to an extent, agree on that, and maybe you're on my side for today. Maybe you're saying, you know what? Does success really have to live outside my comfort zone? Is it only available to the 2% wherever somebody dreamt up that number? Or could there be a better way? Well, first, we got to, again, go backwards to go forwards. So everything I just showed you, is it really true? Can you prove that to me? Where's the research articles? Where's the scientific periodicals, research that I can read that we can cite? So here's my question back to you. What is your definition of success? What is it? You don't have to answer it for yourself. If you want to share, share. But again, I think words matter. And so if somebody, we're all fed this stuff that success lives outside your comfort zone, I stay in curiosity mode to which I ask, well, what does success mean to you? If they're making the claim that it lives outside your comfort zone, what is success? What is it? Can you define it? Because, guys, I have coached a lot of people and got a lot of perspective on this. It makes me sad to say that one of the very first questions when I start coaching or working with somebody is this right here. And it's sad to say that a lot of people cannot articulate or answer that for themselves. They don't know what success means to them. They cannot define it. And yet, coincidentally, they're pretty sure they don't have it. How messed up is that? So here's my warning. If I had a white towel, I'd be waving the towel at you right now. My fear is when you and I say, "Hey, look at that person. That person is so successful." What are you really saying? Probably 8 or 9 times out of 10. From my experience, yeah, Andrea's right. When we when we say, "Oh, that person is so successful, they make it look so easy," what we're actually saying is that person makes a lot of money. That person makes a lot of money. Well, listen, I'm not here to judge you, as I hope you wouldn't be here to judge me. And so if your definition is, hey, success equals making lots of money, then cool. At least you have clarity around it. Rock on with your bad self. I just believe there's probably more to it than that if you actually got honest with yourself. It's not about the money. It's about what the money can do for you. Money magnifies the person that you are. So if you're a giver and you've got a heart that you want to give back and do philanthropic things, cool. You have every God-given right, in fact, a responsibility to make as much money as you can because you're serving people that maybe aren't so fortunate, don't have the same ability that you do. Awesome. But was it really about the money or was there something deeper than that? So again, I'm just cautioning you when you say success, when you think success, and especially glorifying or idolizing another person who's quote unquote so successful, is it really what you're saying is they just make a lot of money? Because how many people, how many star celebrities and athletes, and maybe some folks that you know make and earn lots of money, but their relationships suck. Their marriages destroyed. Sometimes even they get to the point where they quote unquote had it all, and yet they even take their own life. So what does success mean to you? Success to me, for example, is taking my daughter to school this morning, picking her up from school later today, not missing the soccer game or softball game that my girls have this week. There's no amount of money that can replace me being there as a father, present, cell phone away, cheering them on. In fact, I help coach my 10U daughter's softball team. So that is part of my definition of success is having the flexibility, the freedom to say yes to family, say yes to those memories and experiences, even if it means saying no temporarily to a business opportunity, because business will always be there. What about you? I know I'm spending time on this because this really matters, you guys. When's the last time you took any bit of time to define success? And if I went one by one by one, if we had the time, all of our definitions probably are different. Good. So why are you comparing your insides to other people's outsides? Run your race. As long as you know what the hell success means to you, that's all I and probably your leadership care about. Now let's help you go get what's yours. And do so by running your race, staying in your lane, and doing it, as I'm getting ready to share, based on your strengths, the things that actually are familiar to you, not brainwashing ourselves that it requires you to be somebody that you're not. It requires you to do uncomfortable things 24/7. Okay? So once you can ask, hey, or answer rather, my definition of success is blank, then I'm going to go back and ask you one more time. Now we change it. Does your definition of success really live outside of your comfort zone? Does it have to? Does your definition? Or could you achieve it, in fact, having everything you already need to have within inside yourself? I'd like to explore that if it's okay with you guys. All right. So I'm going to submit to you an alternative perspective, because if I'm you, I'm like, all right, Jake, I mean, maybe I'm picking up what you're dropping down. Here's one. I say to my daughters, it makes them laugh. Are you smelling what I'm stepping in? Okay. So if you're smelling what I'm stepping in, um, you might be asking, well, Jake, if you don't believe success lives outside your comfort zone, what do you believe? Great question. Let me share it with you. Before before I do, sorry, I forgot. Before I do, I'd like to share this with you. This is the single greatest personal growth and development hack I can give you. Single greatest. This right here, the feedback I got from speaking in person to a lot of your broker owner leaders is what jumped out to them the most. And many, by the way, had heard of it before and maybe just need to be reminded of it again. So I'm curious if you've seen this before, if you know what PTFAR, PTFAR is, will you say yes in the comments for me? If not, that's okay. And by the way, leaders, if you are there or have already seen this, that doesn't count. If not, I'd like to spend a second going through this with you. And then, my bad, then I will share my alternative perspective with you. Fair? All right, Andrea's seen it. Got it. Yep. So basically, if you hear me refer to PTFAR, that's just an acronym, PTFAR. It simply means my programming. We start here at the top, my programming. This is my belief system, in other words. That's a synonymous term. Programming equals belief system. Your belief system leads to the way you think about something, your thoughts. The way you think about something leads to, oh, I got to let somebody in, leads to the way you feel about something. And then the way I feel about something determines if I act on it or not. And the way I act or activities that I do determines the results I get or don't get. So once more, my programming leads to my thoughts lead to my feelings lead to my actions lead to my results. That, in essence, is PTFAR, PTFAR. Okay? Now, the single greatest hack that I can give you today, anybody can do this. You can do this with yourself. is to reverse engineer the order. And I'm going to give you an example, a real example. In fact, last summer this happened here in just a second. One thing I want to get clear first is this P, because everybody can understand thoughts, feelings, actions. That's pretty straightforward. The P, the programming, the belief system, is the most elusive one of the bunch. I just want to teach on this for 30 seconds. Your programming, aka belief system, is generally formed by two ways. Okay. Again, awareness is transformation. So I'm making you aware. The way you believe, your belief system, those deep-seated, deep-rooted convictions that you have, are either formed, in most cases, by the intensity, that's number one, the intensity of an experience, or number two, the frequency of an experience. So belief systems, your programming, is formed by the intensity of something or the frequency of something. Example, maybe mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa growing up would always tell you money doesn't grow on trees. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money's the root of all evil. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money's the root of all evil. And you hear that over and over and over and over again on replay in your mind. What's your relationship today with money? Do you believe money is bad? Do you believe money is only available to a select few? I don't, and again, no judgment. I'm just saying all of us have pre-programmed, pre-scripted beliefs about money. What is yours? And where did that even come from in the first place? Is that truly your belief, your thought? Or was it something somebody else told you once upon a time that you adopted as yours? Does this make sense? So that would be a frequency over and over and over again. Or intensity. Maybe, listen, unfortunately, maybe you experienced a really, really bad divorce as a child. Your parents got divorced and that left a scar on you. Okay. And ever since then, because you witnessed firsthand maybe the abuse or whatever took place, that you've had a rough go at your own relationships because you witnessed front and center what happened there with your own parents or something. Listen, this is coming from my mom. My parents, thank goodness, are still together. Amazing people, by the way. And yet, my mom, now in my adult years, has told me that she grew up in a very, very verbally and at times physically abusive home as a child. And guess what she said? My mom is like a saint, man. She's like the sweetest, most amazing person in the world. You know what she said to us adult kids? She said, "You guys, I learned everything I didn't want to be as a parent when I had my own children. I learned what not to do." Now that is power. My mom whew, gets me choked up a little bit every time I share this because she could have just adopted that belief system of what she had to witness firsthand growing up. And she could have just carried that forward, never questioning it, never feeling like she was in control, but she didn't. She said, no, 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 no. When I have my own children, I'm going to be everything that they weren't. I'm going to be the exact opposite. And thank God that I learned all the things not to be. Isn't that freaking awesome? I mean, that's a classic example of what I'm talking about here. We get to decide what we allow into our minds to shape and create our belief systems. And some of us got some stinking thinking going on right now, and that's okay. I'm going to show you right now how we can rewire this because it is possible. Our minds, which are like the computer, can download a virus every once in a while. I mean, a lot of us have been walking this earth for many, many years, and it's gonna happen. We pick up ideas and beliefs and things that are like, what is that? And it's not serving us any longer. But the good news is because you picked it up, you can also put it down and I can pick up something new. So here we go. I told you earlier, PTFAR, that's the cycle, the hack for all of you. You don't need to hire a coach to do this. You can do this yourselves moving forward, is to listen and find out where am I on the spectrum. Today, I'm going to take you at the R. Here's what happened 1 year ago during a coaching conversation with an agent here in Wisconsin. So I asked her something to the effect of, "Hey, agent, I'm just trying to like frame the conversation. Hey, what's the greatest challenge you're experiencing right now in your business? What's causing the most stress and frustration?" Okay. And she thought about it and she said something to the tune of, right now it's hard for me to build a lifestyle and provide for my family on an inconsistent income, right? I need more consistent closings. And to do that, I need to build a more robust pipeline of buyers and sellers, right? So, probably sounds pretty familiar to a lot of you. Yeah, I would think so. That's what she said. So, as a coach, what I do is I repeat back to you what I hear you said, so we're on the same page. She said, so I said, all right, so what I hear you saying is you desire to have more consistent income, and you've already recognized to do that, you need to build a deeper pipeline. Is that fair? Is that correct? And she said, yes, Jake, that is correct. All right, cool. Now we can move forward. So because I shared with you guys the hack of this is to reverse engineer the order, she's coming at me with the R, correct? She's talking about a result she currently is lacking that she desires. Are you seeing this? You got to recognize where she's at on the spectrum. So what do you think Captain Obvious here is going to ask next? If she's at the R and I'm going to reverse engineer the order, what do you think my next question to her was? Anybody want to take a stab at it? Yeah, it was about her actions. So the question sounded something like this. After I repeat back to her what she said, I said, all right, agent, no judgment. Let me ask you another question. If you desire more money, more consistent income, and to do that to build her pipeline, what are your daily routines or actions, your habits, if you will, around talking to people, otherwise known as lead generation? Okay. Right? Is that the right thing to ask? Somebody's lacking a result. Well, what activities are you or are you not doing that generate that same result? So after she thought about it, guess what she said? When I asked her about the proactive, consistent outreach, consistent conversations, otherwise known as lead generation, what do you think she said? Well, you see, excuse, reason, excuse. See, Jake, you don't understand. No, I understand. After she got this word salad out, she basically said, I'm either not lead generating, or at best, I'm lead generating inconsistently. Okay, fair. Thank you for your honesty, is what I said back. Zero judgment. I'm creating a safe space. I'm listening. I'm not going into attack or fix it mode. I'm just asking questions, man. I'm just asking questions. Okay. So now let me hang on. I gotta let somebody else in the room. Everybody's coming now. Woohoo, it's a party. All right. So here's where we're at. Time out. She says, I desire a more consistent income, and I know to get a consistent income, I need to build a bigger pipeline. And then she said, however, I'm not lead generating, or at best, I'm lead generating inconsistently. That's where we're at right now. Are you guys with me? Okay. Now, what do you think I'm going to ask next? Here's the question. And this is actually a question for all of you because I know some of you are seeing yourselves inside of this story right now. Okay. I asked her this question. I said, all right, agent, when I say the word lead generation or prospecting, when I say that, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? Did you notice my anchor? The anchor question was feel. Why did I do that? Because that's next in the cycle. How does that make you feel when I say the word lead gen or prospecting? And you guessed it. Here's what she said. This is what some of you say. She said, Jake, I feel I feel slimy. I feel salesy. I feel inauthentic. I feel like I'm bothering people. Okay. What's causing you to feel this way? Is that really true? So after I repeat back and let her riff on that a little bit, where do you think I go next? Bada bing, I go to the thoughts. What is the thought that produced the feeling of feeling slimy and salesy and everything that she said? So here's my next question to her. And again, I am not interrupting her. All I'm doing is asking questions so far, guys. I'm not giving advice. I'm not going into fix it mode. I'm just zip. Here's my next question. Same for all of you, by the way. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your feelings, blah, blah, blah. Now let me ask you another question, agent. When I say the same words, lead generation, prospecting, okay? Close your eyes. What do you think of? Ah, notice the anchor question. What do you think of when I say the word lead gen, prospecting? And I swear to you, this is what she said. After she looked up and to the right, hmm, I guess when I think of lead gen, Jake, I think of being in a cubicle, making cold calls for hours, like a call center. By the way, is that anybody else here? Like when you think of lead gen, you're like, oh, I'm bothering people. It's like just cold calling them all day long kind of thing. Right? What, like what? Now the new you is like, where in the heck did I even get that from? Why was that the first thing that pops into your head when I ask you that question? And by the way, if that's not you, that's okay. That's good. Like whatever. But what in the world? Like, where does that even come from? Lizette, I hope I'm saying that right. So yeah, I think dial for money. Right. I'm dialing with a motive. It's all about me, 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 and it's a cash grab. Who's got my, who's going to say yes to me today so I can make lots and lots of money? Well, no wonder it feels slimy and salesy, you weirdo. Stop being weird. Now there's a hack detour I can give you right here, right now, if you want to consider it. Instead of lead generation, replace the word with need. Need generation, NEED. How might that one word alone change things for you? Because now it's not about me. Now my motive is calling Andrea saying, hey, Andrea, it's Jake here at XYZ Realty. I want to check in and see what do you need from me right now? Is there somebody I can connect you with? What's going on in life? Maybe it's personal, work, anybody I can connect you with, whatever, 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 right? It's I'm finding out their needs because does everybody have their own personal goals and desires and wishes and wants? Yeah, yeah. So what are their needs? Go out and need generate. And then if and when they have an upcoming real estate need, you're the person. But in the meantime, you're still relevant in their life because you can serve as a connector. I digress. But let's go back to the model here. So when I can identify my thought, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. And here's the most important and the most difficult part of this whole equation is getting to the P. Where did that programming, how did I generate that programming, that belief system, if you will, that spit out that thought? Ooh, this is deep stuff, you guys. Too early on a Monday morning. You got to do some soul searching and you've got to be brutally honest with yourself. And in this agent's case, when I asked her the final question of, hey, that thought that you just shared about like cold calling all day in a call center or in a cubicle, where did that even come from? How did you get that belief in the first place? And she thought for it felt like 5 minutes. It was probably 30 seconds or so because I just let silence do the heavy lifting for me. But she thought and she thought and she thought, and she finally said this. I'm not joking. I can't make this up. She said, Jake, never been asked that before. And I guess the more I think about it, there was a time, I think it was like 20 years ago, whatever she said, it doesn't matter. But let's go with 20. So she said, I think there was a time 20 years ago when I was in high school that I was at my mom and dad's house and the telephone rang. Now, on that day, my boyfriend had broken up with me. So I was having a bad day. I was in my feels. Okay. And you're not going to believe what happened, Jake. Tell me. She said, the phone rang. I pick up the phone right after my boyfriend dumps me. All right. And guess who it was? I said, I don't know. Who was it? She said, it was a telemarketer. It was a telemarketer. And they were hard selling me about something I didn't care anything about. I was already in a bad mood and they wouldn't take no for an answer. I finally hung up on them and they had the nerve to call back. What? Poof. Dude, dudettes. That, what did I say earlier? How are belief systems, aka programming, formed? Intensity and or frequency. Remember? That was an intense moment in a time when her mind was vulnerable. 20 years ago? And ever since that experience, she has equated calling people like proactive outreach equals bad, equals telemarketing. No wonder her thoughts associated it with being in a call center. No wonder her feelings are associated with bothering people, feeling slimy and salesy. No wonder she's not therefore doing the activity at all or inconsistent at best. And no wonder she's lacking the result that she desires on a consistent level. Holy moly. This just got, are you seeing this, guys? This is real stuff. This is very real. And until you get to the P, the programming, the belief system, you're just picking at weeds. You're just we got to get down in there and grab the whole root and yank the whole root out, because now once I deal with that, I can rewrite the entire narrative, which changes the whole sequence. In fact, I can replace that negative thought with positive thoughts. Actually, normally when I reach out to people, they're like, oh my gosh, it's so good to hear from you. How are you? Well, there's a new thought. There's a new feeling. Feels good. I like to make people's days. I like to reconnect with them. I like to need generate and be a connector of whatever their needs are and see how I can serve them. Therefore, I kind of want to do it a lot because it feels good. It gives me that dopamine hit. And because I'm doing it a lot, oh my gosh, results start to happen. Pause. Any questions, ahas, any comments that anybody has about this? Because I'm getting ready to move on. PTFAR. Memorize it, internalize it, and if you're dealing with something, figure out where you are on the spectrum and reverse engineer the order. So next time you come to me and you say, Jake, I feel blank. What do you think I'm going to do next? I'm going right to the thought. What's the thought that produced the feeling? So it's not always the R, the A. It's wherever you are on the spectrum, identify it, and then figure out what comes right before it. Questions, comments, snide remarks? Okay. Was this helpful? Thumbs up or a yes in the comments. I just got to know that this landed before I move on. Was this helpful? Yeah. Okay. Very good. Let me see what's in the chat. Yes. Okay. Thank you. All right. Let's move on then. Oh, we got a couple more. Sure and yes. Very good. All right. So now I teased you earlier. Here's my submission, my alternative perspective. Success, what does it mean to you? Does it really have to live outside your comfort zone? And now I just proved to you that that could have been a part of the programming. Success has to live outside of my comfort zone. Success has to live outside my comfort zone. Maybe that's been your programming this whole time and could be the very thing that's been holding you back. Just saying. What about this, though? Here's what I believe. We created this model ourselves. I'm putting a big old X through the comfort zone, and I submit to you that your definition of success lives by expanding your strength zone. Okay, Jake, what's my strength zone? Let's start in the bullseye, right here in the middle. It is a combination of all of these factors, like your natural talents, those natural gifts and abilities. When people say, oh my gosh, you make this look so easy, or just those things that God gave you that you're just like, yeah, I'm freaking good at this. I'm really good at this, actually. That's the stuff. Okay. It's all your life experiences and perspectives. It's the transferable skills from all those former jobs that you've had that people paid you money to do. What were you good at in those jobs? And then figuring out how can I utilize that and carry that over into real estate. It's your natural behavior style, whether you've done anything like the DISC assessment, Strengths Finder. Um, I mean, God, there's a zillion and one of these behavioral or personality assessments out there. Go take one of them. Okay. It's all of that. And when you take all of that and you bottle it up, that's what makes you uniquely and authentically you. There's nothing uncomfortable about it. These are all things that you do incredibly well and have a ton of familiarity with. Does this make sense? And I liken this quick little story or example that maybe I'm being stereotypical, but okay, I'm a typical guy. All right. I don't know how to bake. Man, if you know how to bake, right on. Awesome. I don't. I'm not a baker. Well, last week my daughter had her 11-year-old birthday, her 11th birthday. And let's say dear old dad wanted to bake a cake for Addie, my 11-year-old daughter. Well, I don't know what to do, man. So first thing I know to do is go to the grocery store. And once I walk into the grocery store, I look up and I'm like, ooh, yep, right there, aisle 7, baking supplies. So I go to aisle 7, look at all the baking supplies. Now I'm greeted with this humongous wall of cake mixes, brownie mixes, you name it. It's overwhelming. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. And so I'm like, I eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I grab one off the shelf. I'm like, yep, this one looks good. Pause. Why did I just pick that one off the shelf and say, yep, that looks good?
It looks easy.
Because I want what's on the front of the box. Translation? Just like you getting that real estate license and you want to earn 6 figures in real estate. I want what's on the front of the box. But that's not enough, is it? No. I've got to flip that cake mix around because what's on the back of the box? Ingredients, instructions. Aha. In other words, that is a model. They have provided me a model and a system for success that guarantees me if I do what's on the back of the box, that I will generate what's on the front of the box. Hello. Even a dad like me can do it. Now, I got to go buy the ingredients. I got to put them in order. And what I do know about baking is like the measurements have to be exact. I don't get to jack with that. I've got to put the oven on the right temperature and I've got to put it in for the right amount of time, correct? If I mess with any of that, I messed with the recipe. I'm not going to get what's on the front of the box. Oh my gosh. So let me translate this back to real estate and how it applies to you. This internal stuff is your ingredients. This is your recipe for success. I really believe that. If you own it and you lean into this stuff hard and you figure out how you can apply it towards need generation and being a service-based person to others, you've got everything you already needed. And you're unique. It's you. It's your way. It's not my way. It's yours. Well, I don't know about you, but that sounds a whole lot better than me doing something uncomfortable like cold calling if my natural behavioral style and all this stuff isn't built for cold calling. I'm built to be belly to belly in front of people. Great. Then why aren't you out at networking events, loving on your sphere of influence? Why aren't you doing open houses every weekend then? Build your plan around your strengths. Anyways, then you get into the second ring. Once I know all of this, I can 10x my strengths. I'm doubling down. I'm more intentional than ever before. I'm now able to experiment with things, not just throw spaghetti against the wall on all this random stuff. Well, I tried that, didn't work. Tried that, didn't work. No, I'm experimenting the right way based on what I know does work. And it comes natural to me, feels right. And then yes versus no. When I say yes to something, that means I say no to something else. I've got two follow-up questions. When I say yes to something, that means I'm saying no to something else. What is it? That's awareness. And am I okay with that? What is it? And am I okay with that? This stems from like Sir Isaac Newton, right? If you remember back to like sixth, seventh, whatever grade, and we learned about Newton's law. Newton's law from Isaac Newton says for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So I used to give baseball instructions to little kids and I would flex my bicep muscle. Said if I want to flex my bicep muscle, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. What does that mean my tricep muscle has to do? It's got to relax. It's got to give. For every action, there's an equal and opposite muscle group reaction. So when I say yes, that means I'm saying no to something else. What is it? You said yes to being here with me for an hour today. Cool. That means you said no to the calls, the emails, the texts, and everything you're getting in real time right now. I honor you for that. Okay. But what about tonight at 6 o'clock when you're sitting down for dinner with your fam and your cell phone rings? The inevitable happens. You're like, man, I put in a long day. I'm now finally able to break bread with those that I love, the people that I work so hard for. And your phone rings and it's Buyer Bob. And all you can think about is if I don't take this call from Buyer Bob right now, I'm going to miss out on 10 grand because he wants to go see homes like now. Again, I'm not judging. I'm just creating awareness. If you do what most do, which is give their family one of these numbers, like, hey, just give them the finger. It'll just be a second. I'll just give me a second. And a few minutes later, you come back and say, hey, hun, hey, kids, I gotta go. I gotta go open this door for Buyer Bob. I'll be back soon. And fast forward, you come back. Buyer Bob didn't write. Family's asleep. And you got to warm up your meal in the microwave and eat it all by yourself. When I say yes to something, that means I say no to something else. What is it? And are you okay with that? Catch my drift? We've got to stop making short-term decisions that have long-term impact. Now, if you had a predetermined agreement with your family, because hey, it's the season, I got to go make hay while I can. So if we get a phone call in the middle of dinner and they say, cool, see you, bye, we love you, mean it, then fine. That's your thing with your family. That's your decision. But I don't want this business to get in the way or take priority over what you claim matters most. All out of a what? Fear of loss. You let fear of loss in the short term, because if I don't go do this now, I'm going to miss out on 10 grand, get replaced from you asking your wife and kids or husband or whoever you care about the most how their day was. And just talk. Just be human for a minute. Is this making sense? Okay. And then finally, we all work to expand, stretch ourselves, but never getting uncomfortable necessarily. I am very comfortable because I'm taking everything within me, everything that's unique to me, everything I'm amazingly talented at, and I'm just applying. But I'm stretching myself along the way. And that's where the debate. Was that uncomfortable? Is that what is that? I don't know. Call it what you want. I'm just giving you a different perspective. But that's where we get to this exterior ring and life is good. So here's the point, and then I've got to move fast. I'll probably go about 5 minutes over. If anybody needs to hop off, I understand. I'll make the replay available. But to wrap this portion up, I want you to play to your strengths, everybody. Stop apologizing. I want you to be unapologetically passionate and decisive. This is who I am. This is what I'm good at. This is what my natural behavioral style lends itself to. These are all the transferable skills that I can now apply to real estate. Go me. I want you to align with your purpose. What's this about? You could have done 101 bazillion different things. You chose real estate as a vehicle to fund your life and lifestyle. So what is your purpose with it? Build a schedule that reflects your definition of success, not your broker owners, not your neighbors, not your agent that you did pre-licensing school with. No. What is your definition of success? Build a schedule that supports that and let's go get it. And then I want you to act. Act now. Act fast. Speed of implementation matters. Don't think. Don't second guess. Go. Go get to work. And then do it again tomorrow and do it again the next day. So I'm going to transition to you. That's a lot of head stuff, and it matters. That's why I spent an ungodly amount of time on it with you today. This, to land the plane, is what we call the 5 to 25 challenge, the simplest path to earning six figures in real estate. This is basically saying 5 consistent conversations per day will generate 25 predictable sales per year. Bet. Try me. I've done this with thousands of agents, and it is easy for you right now. When I say that, some of you are having a belief system moment saying, nah, this guy's crazy. Couldn't be. Well, that's your programming, because I've got a different set of programming. Why? Because I have evidence over and over, even in today's market, that this is real. So let's look at this together. What the heck is the 5 to 25 challenge? Like I just said, it's the simplest formula to plus 25 your sales. If you're already doing 25, cool, let's get you to 50. If you're currently at 0, cool, let's work up to 25. Doesn't matter where you're at. This applies to everybody. But think about this for a minute. Why is it that 90% of NAR, 90+% of NAR, sells 24 or fewer homes per year, coupled with the fact that 87%, give or take, of agents fail? They get out of the business. They don't make it. Why? You guys know why. I get the same answers every time I ask this. If we had more time, I'd have you unmute and everybody shouts it out for the next 30 minutes. But you know why. False expectations, because it's not HGTV. Lack of discipline, lack of training and support, and on and on and on and on and on. So we can't claim that we don't know what to do. We don't know what separates those who create sustainable businesses from those who are in and become part of the 87%. We can't claim unconscious incompetence anymore. You know what to do. You're an adult. You're resourceful. We've got AI and Google and all these things at our fingertips, not to mention your managing brokers and leadership and other agents. Like if we just asked and sought out the answer for ourselves and acted like a CEO, you would figure it out. You know what to do. Go talk to people. So the gap generally in coaching comes down to one of, if not a combination of three things. Is it a mindset issue? Is it a skill set issue? Or is it an activities issue? Today, we've hit on some mindset stuff, and we're going to finish with activity stuff. Skill set, different topic for a different day. Okay? But I need you to understand which one of these three, if next time you're going through something, is it a mindset thing? Is it a skill set thing? Or is it an activities thing? What about this? When all of you got handed that slip of paper or you did your test on the computer screen, it says, voila, you passed. Did anybody at the testing center give you a job description in real like, no, because I didn't get one. Just like as a parent, I didn't get an instruction manual of how to raise kids. You figure it out, don't you? Because nobody's coming to save you, and we are the CEO. We're the CEO of our life. We're the CEO of our business. Ain't nobody coming to save us. Okay? So here's what I have deciphered. If there was a job description, here's the 5 things. Write these down if you'd like. Number 1, every day that I work, every day, I've got to lead generate, aka need generate. Every day I've got to follow up. Every day I got to go on appointments. Every day I've got to negotiate contracts. And number 5, every day, script and role play. That is your 20% activities. That is the core of a real estate agent's job description. Now, if you don't do any one of those on a working day by choice, did you even go to work today? And at your former job, what would happen if you chose just not to go into work today? Or you didn't feel like doing all the tasks on the job? Well, I've got a sneaking suspicion you wouldn't have that job for very long, would you? You're going to get fired. So would you hire you right now based on those 5 things? Did you do them today? Do you plan on it? Are you going to do it again tomorrow? That's the real estate agent job description. Now I can hear somebody saying, well, Jake, what if I don't have an appointment? What if I don't have a contract to negotiate every day? Cool. See 1 and 2 until you do, or practice it. Number 5. You mean to tell me you can't grab a friend and spend 15 minutes role playing a negotiation, role playing going on an appointment. Sharpen those skills, man, right? Every day I'm either role playing it or real playing it. And until I have one, I'm still doing numbers 1 and 2 to find that next opportunity. You can now, yes, you can absolutely role play with ChatGPT and AI. Absolutely. We've got a lot of people doing that. In fact, if you stick with me till the very end, you guys, I know I'm going to go slightly over. I got a couple surprises and gifts for you that you can use on this. Okay, so closer look on this whole 5 to 25 thing. There's a book called The Slight Edge. That's where this comes from. It's about the simple disciplines that repeat over time and compound into massive results. Conversely, though, your definition of success could also be the difference between simple errors in judgment that repeat over time and compound into massive results. If I have a health and fitness goal, maybe I want to lose 20 pounds. It's that moment of decision where I choose to take a bite of the cake or put the fork down. When I choose to take the stairs instead of the elevator. Those little stinking moments is what this is talking about. Your success, however defined, is often found in those little, seemingly insignificant moments of decision. Make the right decision. In today's case, are you going to talk to 5 people today? Or are you going to call it in if you talk to 4? Nobody will know. Nobody's looking over your shoulder, but you've still got to live with you at the end of the day. Okay. I want you to sweat the small stuff. How many of you remember growing up and somebody maybe played this game? Would you rather have $1 million cash, or would you ever rather have a penny and that penny doubles every day for 30 consecutive days? You guys ever done this? You know what I'm talking about? Silly little game. Yeah. Most people are, if you don't know the gig is up, are going to choose what? I mean, be honest. They're going to choose the millie, right? Give me the $1 million, man. It's cash money guaranteed right now. Here's your briefcase. And then we just go blow it. But the smart person, the deception is, no, actually, you keep your $1 million. I'll take the penny. Give me the penny. This is what's called the compound effect. This is the math, you guys. Math doesn't show emotion. Math does not show favoritism. The math doesn't care who's in the White House today. The math doesn't care what the stock market's doing today. It's just numbers. We are the ones that assign feeling and emotion to it. But look at this. Day 1, a penny. Day 2, 2 pennies. Day 3, 4 pennies. Yippee skippies. Double, 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 double. It's not until day 15 do I make 3 figures. I'm starting to second guess myself like, oh God, why didn't I take the $1 million? What's wrong with me? Am I stupid? Is this really for me? Day 21 is when I start making 5 figures. I mean, all right, at least that's something. But you guys, look at what happens. Double, 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 double. $5.36 million by day 30. Had I just been willing to accept momentum, compound effect, time on task over time. Here's why this matters to you and me. Day 1, got my real estate license. I'm pumped up, man. Let's go. I'm a week in. Hey, nothing's happened yet, but I'm still excited. But now the honeymoon phase begins to wear off. Now things aren't happening as quickly as I thought they would, and I begin to second guess, is this really for me? Did I make a mistake? Maybe I should go get a real job. This is a day in the life of a real estate agent, especially as it relates to lead generation, compounding their efforts, talking to 5 people a day, every day, over and over and over again until momentum is on your side. But what happens if I choose to stop? Congratulations. Just like 75 Hard Challenge, if any of you have done that health and fitness challenge called 75 Hard, if I stop on day 22, guess what? I disrupted the entire thing. I got to go back to day 1. Just because I threw a little pity party for myself, it got a little hard. Nothing's happened yet. Over and over and over again. Just got to keep doing the dang thing. So, Jake, what's the point? The point is success, however defined by you, can be, hopefully not always, but it can be boring, repetitious, mundane. We've got to build that muscle memory. We got to build that discipline, man. Just keep doing it, right? Are you willing to accept the boredom associated with mastering something? We all stink at something the first time we do it, but eventually we start getting a little better and a little better the more we do it. If any of you played piano or guitar or anything like that, you probably really stunk at first, okay? And now you're pretty good. How about the wisdom? I like pulling these little sayings that we often hear as kids. How many of you can relate to this? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's right. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Have you ever considered the wisdom in this? Seriously, Doc was pretty smart. Mom, Dad, whoever said it to you is pretty smart. Why didn't they say 7 apples on a Sunday would keep the doctor away? Does it really? Come on, Jake, it doesn't matter. An apple a day or 7 on a Sunday, it's the same amount. Who cares? Nah, 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 nah. You missed the entire point. They didn't say an apple a day, or didn't say 7 apples on a Sunday will keep the doctor away. It's an apple a day. The lesson, the wisdom in that is what we're talking about here, the compound effect, time on task over time, man. So some of you right now might be saying, well, Jake, who really cares? If I'm working 5 days a week, does it really matter if I make 5 contacts a day, or can I just make 25 on Sunday? You're missing the point. You're missing the point. 5 a day is very different than 25 a week. Okay? So, this is from, I don't know, Legally Blonde or some movie. I don't know. My wife did this. We're almost done. I'm going to land the plane, guys. Stick with me if you're able. But we got to be a mathlete real quick. You got to break a mental sweat with me real quick on some numbers. So check this out. And yes, all of you can have the spreadsheet that I'm getting ready to show. This is just an example. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. I understand all commissions are negotiable, blah, 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 blah. So don't come at me. Okay, here we go. Example. If you made one consistent outbound contact per day, a conversation about real estate with one person a day for 5 days a week for 50 weeks out of the year, that's 250 working days out of 365. And because I would have talked to one, that's 250 real estate conversations. Now, if you are not tracking this, most of you are not, you should start. Use my number. I have done this and tracked this religiously for, no joke, 10 years. For lesser, newer experienced agents, it is about a 2% conversion rate, scary accurate, meaning for every 50 conversations, it will eventually yield you one new piece of business. It's take it to the bank, okay? 50 to 1. Conversation. So with that projection, I can reasonably expect to close 5 homes a year because I took 250 conversations times 2%, that's 5. All by making one consistent conversation per day. Now, 325, 2.5%, blah, blah, blah. This middle column is where it depends on your broker, your splits, your commissions, all the things, okay? But for the sake of example, I will have done 40 grand a year, but after expenses and all that crap, about 13,000 net. Well, we didn't call today the 1 to 5 challenge, but let's see what happens when we go to 3. The only variable in this equation that I changed was the input. Is there anything unreasonable about me expecting you expecting yourself to talk to 3 people a day about real estate? Like three conversations. I mean, I don't care if you're the busiest agent or a dual career part-time agent. All of us, I believe by choice, can talk to 3 people. Come on. Belly to belly, phone call, Facebook text, back and forth. It's got to be two-way, but we have to have a conversation about real estate. Real estate needs to come up at some point in the conversation. Well, if you do that, same variables, that's 750 conversations over the course of the year. 2%, hey, I mean, come on now. That's not bad for a lot of us. 15 closings. Well, there you go. You just made six figs. I didn't say you kept it, but you earned it. You grossed six figures in this equation, and you're probably going to net, I don't know, it's an example, 50 plus $1,000 net after taxes, after expenses. I'm talking net money. Not bad. But check this out. The 5 to 25 challenge. If you're willing to be consistent and apply time on task, 5 conversations a day for 5 days a week for 50 weeks out of the year, I'm giving you weekends and holidays and stuff off. Okay? Which is laughable even in and of itself. But just humor me. That's 1,250 conversations at a 2% conversion, bada bing, bada boom. That's 25 sales if we were just willing to be a little patient and just apply ourselves and talk to people every day, 5 of them to be in fact, and see what takes hold over the course of time. I don't know, man. That's 200,000 in commish. However, this stuff breaks out, I'm going to say you're going to net 6 figures. I mean, if you're paying that much taxes or whatever, there's all these variables. Let's say you're going to net 6 figures. I don't know where you come from, but here in Wisconsin, that spends at Walmart pretty good. I got a Target, it's like an hour away. I'm in the middle of nowhere. Okay. So not bad. Now watch, I got one more for you, and then we'll close this whole thing out. I am not the type of coach or trainer that believes necessarily that doubling your contacts, double, 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 do more, do more, do more is the answer. What did we say the gap was earlier? Mindset, activities, or what was the third? Skill set. Is it possible that this little guy right here, the more I do something, do I get better at it? Typically, yes. The more and longer I stay in real estate, does the percentage likelihood go up that I get repeat and referral business? Yes. So please, please, please note, I am not asking you to do more. I am asking you to get better. I can change, I can manipulate this number. Instead of 2%, what if it jumps to 5? 5 people out of every 100 I talk to either have a need or know of somebody that has a need that they can connect me to. You guys, why are we avoiding script and role play? Why are we avoiding the things that build our skill sets? Because in this case, keeping the same 5 contacts a day, I just got better. Oh my Lord. 63 closings? $500,000 in commish? I mean, we got new problems. If you're making that kind of money and closing that kind of business, you got a whole different set of problems. Trust me. And you'll trade those problems for the ones we got today, probably. It's just math. And yes, maybe it's overly simplified, but I don't know. It's just the compound effect. If you're willing to do the thing long enough, consistent enough, results they're guaranteed, guys. So let's close it out. I want you to consider right now, ask yourself, what is or what would prevent you from having 5 conversations a day? Go ahead, get your excuses out. Time, procrastination, me. All right, just recognize it for what it is, flush it out. Are you willing to be held accountable? What if you treated or held the time so much of a priority the same way you would treat $1 million listing appointment? I guarantee that $1 million listing appointment that you have, you're not going to cancel. You're not going to show up late to it. You're probably going to be prepared, maybe even role played a little bit. You're probably going to be dressed really nicely. What if you treated the time it takes to talk to 5 people a day with the same level of importance and urgency as you would the $1 million listing appointment? I don't know. And then would you hire you? We said that earlier. What I want to challenge you guys with today, after all of this, we've talked about a lot, PITFAR and all these crazy concepts. I just want you to make a decision. We are adults, okay? We can make decisions, especially tough ones, but I believe in you. And if you ever look at the root word of decision, decide. What does side mean? C-I-D-E. Insecticide, pesticide. I'm not going to say another word, but any word with side in it literally means to kill off. So when I make a decision, aka I decide in today's context, like, damn it, I'm doing this. I'm talking to 5 people today. And you know what? I'm going to do it again tomorrow. I'm going to do it again on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. Start with the week, but make a decision and take a stance for yourself rather than arguing for your limiting beliefs. Decide. Cut off mediocrity, cut off complacency, cut off procrastination, cut it off. Do it. And you're literally a decision away. Yeah, but Jake and all, I get it. Life happens to us, for us, all the things. Come on, man. Test drive this for a week. Prove to yourself, keep the promise to yourself for the next 5 days that you can talk to 5 people. Just show yourself you can do it. And probably along the way, you'll show yourself it didn't take as much time as you thought, and it wasn't as painstaking as you thought. In fact, you might actually have fun. So here's what I'd like to leave you with. Sorry for keeping you over. Sorry, not sorry. I want you to connect with your leadership to establish your numbers. I'll make that calculator available. You can plug your stuff in instead of using my example, okay? Number 2, define what success means to you and recognize what your strengths are. What is that strength zone? That middle of the bullseye, your recipe, those ingredients. And here's my 2 bonus items. I'm going to show them really quickly on the screen. There's no gotcha. I don't put you on a spam list. I do nothing with it. Okay, it's yours. We built these with AI actually. agenttalk.tlrnation.com. If you want to script and role play, we built a card game. And then if you're struggling, like, well, I don't know who to talk to. I don't have people to talk to. Okay, well, I eliminated that excuse too with the contact generator. So here, let me show you very quickly. Agent Talk card game. You go to this website, agenttalk.tlrnation.com. Here's what you'll see. You can click start game, grab a partner, do it with yourself, whatever. Pick a category, any category. Let's go lead gen. Pick a card, any card. I don't know, number 2. So they're flashcards. You just got your real estate license and you're calling to let your best friends and family know. What do you say? You can, boom, role play, script practice, go right into it. So on these flashcards, I'm giving you the examples or the situations, and all I want you to do for 10 or 15 minutes a day, ideally with a partner, is role play it, script it. Easy stuff. Have a little fun. So that's the card game. The contact generator is this. You put in your name, Jake Dixon, phone number. This is what I'm saying. I don't do anything with it. 309-368-2343. Send me my 25. So right now I'm getting a text message on my phone, but you can also pull it up here. What we've done is we've uploaded 500 random lead generation techniques, and it just selects 25 of them for you at random. So every week, if you're on the struggle bus, you can come here. Here's one. Visit a pottery or maker studio and introduce yourself. Introduce yourself to a plumbing company. Check. Check. You get your 25 in, 5 in for the day. Visit a CPA firm and introduce yourself. Check. Let's pretend I don't like this one for whatever reason. I can hit this little swap button. Boom. And it swaps it out with another randomized one. Okay. So we got you. I'm not going to ask you to do something that I wouldn't be willing to do myself or not equip you with tools to make this fun and easy for you. Some of these are like go to Lowe's and Home Depot and talk to the person who mixes paint. They're like thought through that these are people who are connected or might be first line of defense with people that know of somebody looking to buy or sell their home. That's it. That's what I got for you today. So take advantage if you want. agenttalk.tlrnation.com, contactgenerator.tlrnation.com. And somehow, some way, I'll include those the calculator, and the replay from today in an email, and hopefully the powers that be at NEFAR will get that in your hands. Okay. So not going to leave you hanging. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my bad for going over, truly, truly, but I appreciate you hanging in there with me. Not for my ego, but I would love one, two, maybe if we have time, somebody to unmute themselves or type, what did you hear? What did you get from today? And then I promise I'll shut up and we'll log off. I just need to hear from one or two of you to know something landed. Kim?
Sorry, I was just unmuting myself. So, what I heard today was the power of small, consistent habits compounds over time. And
Yes, it
so, if you
does.
can just commit to those habits, just like anything else, commit to eating healthy, commit to exercising every day, commit to making your 5 phone calls, it will eventually lead you where you want to go.
Thank you for saying that, and a reminder that lands it, especially if you're building your skill set simultaneously with that, Kim. Oh my gosh, lights out. Consistency plus the skill set, game over. Game over. That's it.
Thank you.
Really great. Thank you. All right, is that my friends at La Rosa, Dwight and
Hello,
Diana? Are you
hello.
there? Yeah.
One of our agents wants to say something. Who?
I would say I like the starting with the results in mind first so that we can reverse engineer. That I think is pretty powerful.
Intensely powerful. Yes, you can do that right now, whether you have a mental block or not. Like, hey, what was my goal, or what is rather my goal for 2026? That's the result. Is there anything that I'm not doing that I need to be doing? And if I'm not doing it, is it because of a feeling or a thought associated with, like, you guys can go ahead and do that now instead of waiting until like something's blowing up in your face, you know.
Mhm.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. It's just as much. That's why I choose. I know we went over. I choose to start with the mindset stuff because I could have done the 5 to 25 in like 5 minutes. Like, okay, he's basically just saying go talk to 5 people a day. But I've got to take my time with that stuff to create the belief. I got to strip you down and build you back up, kind of thing, instead of just going in guns ablaze and saying, all right, guys, just do this. That's what everybody else is just barking orders at you, telling you what to do, and it falls short. But when you can own it, you can author it, you can see yourself in it and understand how this thing works, you're unstoppable. So I really appreciate you guys, man. This was so much fun. If I can ever be a resource, please let me know. Look me, I'm all over Facebook. I'm on Instagram too, but mainly Facebook is where I'm most active. Just it's under the alias Jacob Dixon because I had to use my full name to get the stupid blue check mark. So if there's anything y'all ever need, please reach out. And like I said, I will bottle this up in an email and try my best to make sure everybody gets their hands on the stuff. All right.
Thank you, Jake. This was great. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate you back. Go talk to 5 people today, everybody. Now, go talk to 5 people. All right. See you guys. Appreciate you. You're very welcome. Thanks again.